Howdy, Dave Ryder here. I wanted to talk a little bit about posture. And the question is, can posture affect how your body feels? Absolutely. If your body's out of center of gravity, you're going to start loading parts of your body that are not made for that kind of loading on a regular basis. So when we're talking about sitting, standing, and transition, that's what we're talking about here. And what I want to show you here is a skeleton. There you go. And what I'm going to show you here are, this is what the spine looks like. And back here, these are vertebrae, right? And each vertebrae has 4 joints. We've got 2 joints above and 2 joints beneath. Okay, and we also have ligaments that connect bones. The job of the ligaments are to connect our bony framework with 0 energy exertion. And one of the things that happens when we sit is these joints, or the ligaments can become overstretched. So we want to make sure that we're sitting in a proper position, and that means sitting on our sits bones. That's what they're made for. We weren't made or designed for sitting period, or let alone for long periods of time. 12 hours a day is what the average person sits, is what they found. That's too long. So what that creates is imbalance in the body, and it starts to degenerate areas of the body that we're supposed to last for the duration of our existence on this planet. Anyhow, so as we're sitting, what we want to do is we want to sit on the edge of the seat. We want to sit on our sits bones, and we want to that kind of brings us into a neutral position with center of gravity. All right, and you'll notice right away that you're not slouching anymore. Your hips don't roll posteriorly when you do this, and that brings your body into neutral, and that takes a lot of pressure and tension off. That single change, that single shift, shifting your weight to the edge of the seat, sitting on your sits bones, can be worth its weight in gold if you've got lower back problems. If you think conversely, if you've got a beautiful couch with big, thick cushions, you go sit on it and you slouch back, right? You're putting your body in flexion, and you're mimicking or simulating that same position that a lot of us have had back injuries in. And we're either doing further damage or just irritating the tissue. So we don't want to slouch in couches or chairs. They're just not built for health these days. But we can still sit better. Now in transition, what we want to do when we're going from sitting to standing is we want to drive up through the heels, and we want to extend the back instead of what we normally do, which is go into flexion and fire off the quads. We want to fire the hamstrings and the glutes. We want to fire and drive up through the heels in extension, and that way that takes the pressure off. Because all it takes is one going into flexion, one time standing up the incorrect way where it can irritate some pain-sensitive structures, and we don't really make the connection as to how or why that causes pain. It may be a delayed reaction. An hour or 2 later, all of a sudden our back feels raw, or we start feeling some pain. And it can be caused by just sitting, or transition between sitting and standing. Now standing is another thing that a lot of us have some forward shoulder posture, or head forward posture, and that's where supposed to have a natural, this guy is quite dysfunctional, but we're supposed to have a natural curve in the thoracic area. And but if we have too much of a curve, our head starts to jut forward, and our shoulders can roll forward, and we're out of center of gravity again. And that creates a lot of stress and strain on the body, and that is considered a strain pattern, which can become pain pattern. So with standing, what we want to do, and what you can do at home or wherever you're at, is you can feel the muscles in the back. As you lean forward, the muscles turn on, and as you lean back, the muscles turn off. What you want to do is you want to find a way to stand on a regular basis, not sitting but standing, where these muscles are turned off. You want to find that neutral position, and that requires a little bit of re-education, of reconditioning our body where neutral is, what normal is. So if our body's used to leaning forward for whatever reason, that's conditioned. We've conditioned ourselves that way. We're conditioning ourselves 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All right, the way we sit, the way we stand, the way we're in transition, the way we sleep, those are conditioned behaviors. So we have to try some new behaviors, and that may mean just shifting our shoulders back a half inch, turning these muscles off. You'll feel a difference. You'll feel it. Same thing with the shoulders. Bringing the shoulders back a little bit, maybe a half inch. You'll feel a difference with the muscles and the tissue and the tension. Same thing with the head. If you've got a head forward posture, every inch forward from neutral is an extra 10 pounds on this tissue behind, on the cervical neck and the upper thoracics, this area right through here. So every inch forward is an extra 10 pounds. If my head is 3 inches forward, that equals a whopping 42 pounds on this tissue back here. So here's neutral, and here's the head forward posture at 3 inches. All right, does that make sense? So we want to get this head back over the neck, neck over the shoulders, and back in line with the center of gravity and the position of power. all right, of function. So that's what the aim is, to increase function and also decrease pain. So that way we're not, if we got a head forward posture, we may be inadvertently causing pain, unnecessary pain, irritation and discomfort, inflammation, those kinds of things. All right, so we want to bring our head back over our neck, and we can do this with a chin tuck. Simply just put a couple fingers on your chin, jaw, and tuck your chin. Try to touch your spine with your chin. Right? I'm going to do this 25 times, and it's really cool to do it like stoplights. You know, when you see people pulling up next to you, you start chin tucking and look over at them. You try to get them to do it with you. You know, it's really cool. You know, especially if you get like a whole line of, you know, all 3 lanes. Everybody's doing it all at once. You know, it's really cool. So those are 3 things. So you want to, for the lower back, make sure that you're sitting on your sits bones. And you're in transition, you want to drive up through the heels and fire your hamstrings and your glutes. So you're firing the right muscles. Those muscles tend to be weak and inhibited, so we have to learn how to use them again. All right, so sitting, transition, and standing. If your head's forward, if your shoulders are forward, you want to bring them back into the center of gravity, and that's gonna make a huge difference. Try it. It could make a huge difference in how you feel on a daily basis. If you have any more questions or concerns, or you're interested in learning more, I'm teaching classes as well, and please check out the information where to get a hold of us. You can email or call or text at any point if we can give you some more information. And you can check the schedule out too. All right, thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.